Hey guys, I apologize for my absence. I was too busy downloading Lover's Lab mods for Skyrim.
Out of pocket for that shit.
Anyway, have you ever heard of Fancy Pants? Of course you have. You may have had to pull it from the deep cracks and crevices of your mind, but you remember that stick man with the orange wide leg jinkos on, with his flowy mohawk hair, doing backflips and shit? Yeah, that nigga. Fancy Pants is a platforming game series made in 2006 by a dude named Brad Borne. He made certified bangers, certified classics off the jump, so you know we gotta talk about it. It's personally one of my favorite platformers ever, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm really happy to get into this one. Hell, I was such a fan I even got the Fancy Pants game for the PS3. I played the fuck out of that. But today, we're gonna talk about only World 1 and World 2, the ones I've played to exhaustion and the one I have the best memories of. So without further ado, hey, there he is, the man of the hour. Now, World 1 is the most skeletal of the main games, but everything is still really on point. World 1 has no plot. It's simply a platforming game, so there's not much to explain here. But it feels really good to play through. I mean, controlling him feels great, and still feels great for a game made in 06. As any platformer would have you do, you have to run, jump, and crouch your way to the next level. Easy. Sometimes. Fancy Pants at times thinks he's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Feeling good!
He runs and gains momentum pretty quickly. I mean, hell, he even crouches and rolls up into a ball. And just like a classic 2D Sonic game, if you're just cruising and don't know what's coming up, right into an enemy. But don't worry, one hit won't kill you. In fact, you got a whole health bar, so you're good. It's kinda hard to die in this game, to be honest, but you know, we all have our moments. But if you do have a problem with losing health, or if you're just a completionist, there's these squiggles around the map that'll give you some health, and if you get 100 of them, you even get an extra life. The level design is pretty basic, but a fun kind of basic, and the movement complements its design as well. In World 1 and World 2, there's a lot of loops and curves and jumps that make Fancy look cool as fuck. Like, he's not even trying to do all that. This is just how the level's laid out. That's just how we gotta move. Levels in this game are also littered with cool stuff here and there, like secret areas and trophies you can collect. It might take a bit of trial and error to get there, which is why understanding how the game's physics work is very helpful. The secret areas are typically just short little levels you complete that are inspired or designed by other creators. There's even one by Brad himself that shows off a new feature he intends to add in the sequel: wall jumping. Here and there, there'll be enemies that get in your way. To end their existence, you can roll into them or jump on their heads. And once you do, they make this silly little sound effect. It's pretty charming. In fact, I feel like the whole game is really charming. I like how everything looks a little funky and cartoony, makes everything feel comfy, you know, homey, familiar. I love it. I really do love it. Hey, World 2 though? This is peak Fancy Pants. World 2 builds upon what was already great about World 1, as a sequel should. It is a way more polished game, and I know this sounds weird, but it feels like it has a lot more confidence in itself. Cleaner animations, improved movement, new mechanics, and this time it even has a story.
Give me that shit, nigga!
Remember when I said the movement in World 1 complements the level design? Well, that's even more apparent here. The level design choices feel a lot more intentional in World 2. They mix in with Fancy Pants' new and improved movement a lot better, which is still again run, jump, and crouch, but if you compare the feeling of movement between World 1 and World 2, you'll for sure feel the difference. Brad even includes a few quality of life improvements, like wall jumping without going in the box, sliding on walls, and even hanging onto ledges. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot, but you don't know how much this actually improves the feeling of the game. It's the little things, guys, it truly is. Another small difference is how we interact with enemies. Nothing crazy, it's just that crushing their cranium once just won't do it anymore. They seem to have evolved to have slightly harder skulls, so now after you stomp on an enemy's head, you gotta punt them like a goddamn football on top of that to make sure they're gone. This mechanic is really fun because before they hit the ground, you have an opportunity to juggle them in midair, furthering their torment. Hell, you can even reach a high score if you wanted to. As far as levels go, there's a lot more variety and have a lot more going on in them exploration wise. This one includes even more secret levels and trophies than the last game, but you're bound to find a few literally by just playing the game normally. Something I failed to mention before is that once you collect the trophy and head to the trophy room, Brad has cool descriptions of other creators who he's either worked with or just thinks are cool. This is so sweet. See, this is what I'm talking about. I love this game. Be warned. Some of the secret levels may be a bit hard to navigate because of how they're drawn. I know it may seem obvious to you, but I have major trouble seeing what exactly I'm supposed to be standing on. But hey, the art style had a major improvement, so I'm not complaining. And all that is why I give Fancy Pants World 1 and 2 10 Depop scammers out of 10. Fancy Pants isn't exactly an unknown series. In fact, it's one of the greatest Flash games in the history books, but man, I wish some of Brad's future installments of the series got more attention. I really want to see more games like this in the future, but even if I don't, I can always come back and appreciate what this series has done for the Flash game community. And guys, I think it's pretty clear Non-Stop November has been a bust. I have just been incredibly busy, but I really don't know if I'm going to continue making Flash game reviews until November ends, if I'm just going to start on another big video, I don't know. But we'll see. Anyway, thank you for sticking around. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.